Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where the Comintern has capitulated and awkwardness has ensued. So we got some territories, specifically we got this over here. Not like that's a particularly valuable territory, and I'm probably not even going to really attempt to hold it. But we have Europe over here, we have a substantial chunk of Germany, so that's great. We did, however, lose this area over here. We also have a good chunk of this up here. Now, I was under the impression that Nationalist Spain became our puppet. Yes, they did, but we got some of their territory over here as well. So we're going to need to defend some of this, although we're not that worried about it. Because right now, this is a fairly safe region for us. So we're going to take these guys over here, and we're going to tell them they're going to stop garrisoning this region, and they're going to start garrisoning, like, all of this. Now, this is probably going to be a pretty extensive garrison requirement. So that's definitely something to think about. 45 divisions there. Yes, this is definitely going to be a very extensive one. That's interesting. Okay. They're going to be unable to fully defend this on their own, for sure, but they can at least have some of it, and at least we don't have to actually defend Prague. So there's that. Okay, so we'll get that going. It's minimum divisions of 100. Don't get me wrong. What we can do here is we can definitely bump up to 8 divisions of infantry, recruiting again. And then there's this up here that will need to be defended, and all of this. This is a mess. Now, I believe the United States is still at war with Japan. Yes. We did last episode grant the US access. So that's great. We're going to have this army group remove all orders, and we're going to front line over here. Is this actually going? I don't believe this is going. Delete all orders. Front line along this front. Okay. The offensive line goal will be to simply push in something like this. It's a ridiculous goal, but it's what we're going to do. Okay. We'll have the support of the US as well. And the US should give this territory to us because we are the state owner as a colony state. Fascinating. So if we come down here, the next question is, what's with these guys? Chile, are you a supervised state of France? Yes. Argentine Republic is a supervised state of the US. They will eventually become free, presumably. And that's something that we can work towards. Yeah, the US went through and freed all of these guys in, like, round 1, and there was very little that we could actually do about it. And all of these are becoming supervised states, which is certainly awkward. Okay, so we're going to need to take these guys and not do that. We're going to need to remove a few areas. No, not a fallback line. Area defense. We're going to remove a few areas here. Specifically, those. Okay. So this is now a minimum of 26 divisions. So we are going to take some of these divisions. Let's see. We need a total of 5 divisions and move them into there. Perfect. Next, we're going to need to look at these guys. They are going to forget about their area defense up here. Like so. And they do need to continue to area defense that, but we'll forget about all of that. Fantastic. And we'll also forget about any of this, but okay, that's down to 51 now, so we need to grab 13 divisions here. Like so. These guys move into this army. Okay, for these guys. They will forget about area defending all of this. Let's see, and then that ends there. Yeah, that'll be fine. We'll forget about area defending Colombia, though. So they only actually need 13 divisions here. So we're going to select all, and then deselect 13 units. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Like that. Okay. So we'll make our way around and just do some moving here. This is very laggy indeed. That should, in theory, solve itself. Emphasis on the in theory. And with the help of the US, we should be able to do quite a lot over here. Now, areas that are supposed to be controlled by us will go to us here. So that's great. Yeah, they're not ready yet. That's not a thing. They will never be ready, in fact. We can invite a legionary Bulgaria to our faction, and so we shall. Yeah, they're at war with the same people we are. Fantastic. They accepted. That's great. Yeah, we have a lot of exiled divisions. That'll be a thing for a little bit. So we're going to continue working on our redeployment here. Eventually, Japan will probably cut us off over here, and that's fine if they do. That just creates a shorter line for us, and all will be good then. That's completely okay. I'm wondering if we're not going to get extensive mutinies here. Haven't seen a pop-up on how our speech went. Which is odd. Very odd indeed. Yeah, they won't accept. That's fine. So there's continuing to be some combat over here. This is completely expected, of course. These guys' only job is to defend our coastline over here. And in fact, they really should be in the Coast Guard. Let's see here. I believe you right-click. Yes. There we go. Fantastic. So how are we doing on our supplies over this way nowadays? Maybe somewhat better. Yeah, somewhat better is the answer. Not tremendously better, but we lost a lot of civilian factories in that. Yeah, I'm not shocked by that. They did free a lot of South America. At one point or another, we had every bit of South America under our control. We definitely should have moved faster in the early game on getting this under our control, that's for sure. I didn't realize how the US guarantee system worked in South America, and that is definitely a lesson that I've learned from this. So, I mean, Japan is going to continue to be Japan, but with everyone in the world against them, there's only so much that they can do. The US is barely delivering us anything. Stop, US, please. Turkey is still delivering tons of chromium, but honestly, if we don't have the steel, I'm not sure that it's worth bringing in the chromium for right now. Okay. There we go. And it looks like the US is doing our job for us. That's fantastic. We're very, very happy about that. And we're slowly making our way over. We are going to want to queue up infrastructure wherever we can over here. It's kind of a low priority, but not a tremendously low priority. Ooh, a lot of infrastructure to be built over here. That's nice. We're very happy about that one. And we may be able to build some civilian factories as well. If we are, those become the top priority. But I just want to get these queued up, even if they're not super high priorities. So that'll be great, as well as over here, even though it's not a tremendously huge prio. Okay, that'll do for now, and then let's check our civilian factory capabilities. We are able to construct a couple additional civilian factories. So that's great. Yes, you can join. Okay. Let's get those civilian factories building up as our top prio right now. This is all repair work here. Civilian factories is the top priority. And I think these naval bases are rock bottom priority right now. Honestly, these land forts are going to be abandoned. There we go. That'll do. And we are now building a bunch of civilian factories. Perfect. So the US is definitely helping us hold this border, and we're very happy about that. That's why we gave them access, of course. And we're just going to slowly work our way down, and Japan is going to continue to be Japan for a while. But maybe we can get some gains in that peace deal as well. Honestly, the Soviet Union peace deal worked out quite well for us. And I think the Japanese peace deal is going to work out similarly well. We've been at war with them for a long time. And how much war participation do we have? 0%. It's exciting. The UK has 11%. The US has 38. Okay. Just tracking. Well, we should start getting some increases to that as we deploy out here. And that'll be fine. We'll get some war contribution. This is definitely very awkward over here. There's no doubt about that. And we are making our way on over very, very slowly. Logistically, things are awkward here, but not so much elsewhere. 41 out of 19. We definitely need more coming through over here, and I think we're going to top prio these two naval bases, as well as this infrastructure here. Do we have infrastructure going down in anywhere else around here that's important? Yes. That's a repair, but that's fine. Okay, that'll do for now. Excellent. So we'll get that underway. We're primarily focusing on getting more supplies up here. We, in theory, can bring in supplies over this way as well, but the Russian Federation having this bit of land here is awkward. Are they a supervised state? Yes, they are. Okay, that's fine. So the US is obviously poising itself to be the superpower at this point, and they're also our ultimate enemy. So that is certainly problematic for us. I realize that we're not going to get much progress on boosting fascism here. Scaled to 2%. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and have this guy come over and boost ideology as well. That does cut it down. We only need to hit 20% as well. So we'll just have that happen. It's going to be exceptionally slow. And that's okay. It is currently March, so Siberia is warming up. It's not exactly thawing yet, but it is warming up. We now have restore order in the military again. Awkward. We need to deal with this crisis. We don't really have a way to deal with it. So it's like the first one that we spent cash on just didn't exist. We can announce a peace initiative, make sure it's unacceptable to the enemy. Sure, we'll do that. Well, that was awkward. But it seems to be fine. So hopefully that will get under control. And we are making our way slowly down here, but we're mostly going to let the US do the work. We have a lot of territories over here that we have ownership of, like this one here. Now, this one is owned by the Russian Federation, but that's fine. So that'll be fine, and we are just arraying here. I wouldn't necessarily mind attacking over this way. And that is definitely something to think about. We're completely done over here. We're completely done here. We're basically done with our air doctrine, but I suppose we can grab both of these. Let's do it. So that'll be fine. And we did grab some territories over here that give us a decent amount of resources. So that is wonderful. How are we doing logistically down here? Our logistics are looking solid, actually. Surprisingly so. And we're continuing to work on this stuff over here. That's completely fine. Yeah, that's working quite well. So we should be able to restore our order in the military fairly soon here, I think. I hope. Our war support has come up a decent amount, actually. That's solid. Very solid indeed. I can't help but notice that we're leaving this section unattended. And I'm not a fan. I'm going to send these guys down there. Because these guys are not attacking, but I definitely want them to go down there for now. Okay. This is a very wide front for us. There's no doubt about that. But that's what we have the help of the Allies for. They're on our side, even if we're not in the Allies. So, this whole thing has been very awkward, but we're continuing to get gains. So, I guess it's okay? Question mark? Oh, we're doing some good work over here, looks like. Eritrea has joined the Allies. How are we doing over here? 7.17. Okay, I think that's coming up. Eritrea has joined us in this war. I mean, how's Japan doing on their manpower? They're pretty low. There's no way that they can hold the Allies. Plus us. Integrated Brazil plus the Allies means they're going to not go well. Hey, Kazakhstan. Do you want to join our faction? They don't. They don't want to join our war, more specifically. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, we're going to continue to align against the Japanese here. And take back what is rightfully ours. And hope that the Russian Federation can hold this, or the United States can hold this, before they get up to this territory. Luckily, there's a whole lot of nothing up here. Unfortunately, there is some oil here, but otherwise, yeah, we don't really care that much about this territory. It's not very important to us. So that's something that's good to know. I do think that we should actually pull this agent and start working on rooting out resistance in some of these regions, particularly here where we're at 41%. Yeah, I mean, down over here, it's not that bad. Although, that appears to have reset. Actually, it's the worst over here in Europe. So we're going to root out some resistance over here. I actually feel like we have to root out with both of our spies right now. So we'll go ahead and do that, and we will work on rooting out some resistance in those locations. Offensive formations has finished up. Fantastic. And what do we want to do next? Well, we could work on some of this stuff, but honestly, it's all irrelevant to us. So there is that. Naval Doctrine we're good on. Navy we're good on. Land Doctrine we're good on. Artillery, I mean, we could continue on that. It's not important. I don't think there are any important research is left to do at this point. I mean, signal companies, sure, but we don't really have anywhere to put them. So there's that. I mean, could we put them into our infantry divisions? No. Could we put them into our armored divisions? No. So there we go. Nowhere to put them, really. We are short on tanks. This is unsurprising. We're using all of our civilian factories right now to construct. We will, however, be finishing up a fair amount of construction up here. We're pretty entrenched now up in Siberia. So that is fantastic. We're very, very happy about that. We are continuing to work on this territory over this way, and it looks like the plan is pretty much to push across the whole front. Yikes. But that's fine. We can let that happen for now. With the support of the US and the rest of the allies, we should, in theory, be able to hold this. These lads are still making their way over. It's still April, so it's still a bit frozen up here. So, are we going to succeed in this? I guess we'll find out. Okay, one of our generals was wounded. That's fine. The Grand Battle Fleet is 40 days from completion there, and we are holding off the Japanese attacks over here. That is absolutely magnificent, and supplies are looking much better over in this region. It's down here where supplies are not great, and the previous bottleneck is infrastructure in Mongolia. So, let's look at that. I guess we could do that to alleviate that bottleneck. Sounds good to me. We'll get that underway. And that bottleneck is ports in Sao Paulo. I guess it would be, wouldn't it? This naval base is only a level 7. Right. So we should do something like this. Okay, sounds good. That will additionally help work on our supply line issues, in theory. So we'll continue to work on that, and we'll just align on this line here. It's a very long line. There's no doubt about it. It is an exceptionally long line. We are recruiting up for it, but it'll take some time. We are missing equipment production on fighters. I don't care about that necessarily. Chromium from the United States. This appears to be fine. But actually, we're just going to clear all imports. Period. End of story. There we go. No more imports for now. Yes, we're going to be very short on steel and chromium. We are well aware of that. At this point, I feel like we should probably reorient our steel priorities and bump our modern tanks up to the top. Yes, we're not going to work on ships anymore. I kind of feel like that's mostly unnecessary at this exact moment. More mutinies in the army. We're going to announce another peace initiative. Rip our political power. It just continues happening, even though our stability and our war support is actually quite good. So there's that. We're getting some bad luck on that, I feel like. And that's not helping us in our war effort, that's for sure. Japan is continuing to make this border awkward, but with our US support, we should, in theory, be able to hold this off, I think. Especially once it starts thawing out, which it is now beginning to thaw at long last, now that we're in the middle of May. So that is fantastic. Going to continue to work on our constructions here. We don't have information about this combat. Oh, fascinating. We're in full retreat over here. But this French unit is holding the line. Hello, Consul. This French unit is holding the line. Well, that's okay. I mean, I think the reason that we're in full retreat over here is because our armies are mutinying. We've spent a lot of political power on this. I can't believe that we've failed an 80% roll that many times. The odds on that are low, shall we say. How are we doing logistically over here? I mean, this is bad. This is bad logistically. The rest of this is pretty much fine. But this definitely needs some work. And we are working on that with these two. And the question is, what is our bottleneck here? Local infrastructure. I mean, we don't control the state, though, so there's nothing we can do about local infrastructure. At any rate, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we'll see how this all plays out. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.